Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. In this post, I want to document what's extra curious about the Rachel Dolezal story coming out of Spokane, Washington. If you're new to this story, it's been in the media since about mid last week. I think I first heard it on Wednesday or Thursday, talk radio. It was the Karen Hunter radio show where I first heard about it. Since then, I've heard a few other people talk about it. Now, here this weekend, it's on CNN. The story is that this woman, Rachel Dolezal, is truly white, but she has been pretending to be African American and working for the branch of the NAACP in Spokane, Washington. CNN's headlines gave it all away for me, though. I see what this is really all about right now. Notice blackface. Blackface, Truth Seeker, in simple English gematria sums to 44, a number that has been coded all over black Americans throughout history. Same with the numbers 59 and 42. Think about Martin Luther King Jr. assassinated April 4th. If you write out April 4th and sum it in gematria, it sums to 144. If you write out 44 and sum it, it also sums to 144. Notice that kill in Jewish gematria is 59 and in simple English it's 44. The name Rachel Dolezal, Pythagorean gematria, sums to 59. Again, like the word Negro, like the word slave, like so many things associated. With regards to the number 42, which is often coded on black people, and I've showed it in so many different ways, Truth Seeker, this story is coming out of Washington. Washington is the 42nd state, named after George Washington, who was born on the 42nd day of the year on the calendar of his time. Also, Truth Seeker, the media loves to code 113, and in all these headlines, it's always black versus white. They're not really involving other races, they're just keeping it black and white. And notice that the gematria of black and white is 113, just like mainstream, just like dishonest, just like green screen. Spokane's also on the 47th parallel, like Seattle and Olympia, the capital of Washington. More recently, we got this story out of the Waco biker shooting thing. The first image the media released of any of the bikers was this one, of a black man who has a half black and half white beard. As I've been saying since the beginning of this video blog, our entire mainstream media is a military psyop. It's all about mind control. It's all about programming. And it does it through the most ridiculous stories. This Rachel Dolezal story is ridiculous. The Waco biker shooting story is ridiculous. And every other thing presented to us is absolutely ridiculous. Look at the coding on this man's name, too. Also, those numbers we just keep seeing. 46. He was said to be 62 years old. Mason equals 62. All right, now that we got the coding out of the way, we can see what it's all about. Let's watch the mainstream coverage.
10 years. Confronted by a reporter, her parents are now calling her out. Ruth Ann and Lawrence Dolezal say their 37-year-old daughter is white.
We are her birth parents, and we do not understand why she feels it's necessary to misrepresent her ethnicity.
Her ethnicity, the elders say, is Swiss, German, Czech, and some Native American. They provided this photo of Rachel as a young girl on the left. On the right, here's what she looks like today.
Seemed like she was just doing more of a artistic, expressive representation of her identifying with African Americans by doing her hair in extensions and things like that.
Rachel grew up in predominantly white Montana, but her parents say she immersed herself in the black community when she attended college in Jackson, Mississippi. Rachel's parents had also adopted 4 black children.
Rachel has always been interested in ethnicity and diversity, and we had many friends of different ethnicities when she was growing up. So it didn't start with the 4 adopted children of color. It was probably that added to her passion.
Rachel even received a full scholarship to the historically black college, Howard University, which never inquired about her
True Seeker, I want to point out that Howard is a 33 word. Howard University, look at what years it's established. 1867. Howard, the 33 word.
Ethnicity on her application.
Eyes were popping and jaws were dropping when she walked in to finalize her registration in person.
But the Dolezals say they became estranged from their daughter when she began to
Truth Seeker, I gotta go back just a second there. Notice that she had an orange shirt on. And what I was already gonna say is that think about what's going on our media. TV shows. Orange is the new black. That's a hit TV show. On May 3rd, once upon a time, Obama made a joke about orange being the new black in regards to John Boehner replacing him. Orange sums to 33. Her skin color is very orange. It almost reminds me of John Boehner and some of the other Congress people in Ohio.
When she began to assume a new black identity. Rachel married an African-American man, Kevin, with whom she had a son, who posted a video about their love. Later, Rachel would post Facebook pictures of one of her adopted brothers as her own son, referred to her natural curls, and identified herself on a job application as part black. As professor of Africana
that date numerology they just had up there summed to 119.
Studies at Eastern Washington University, Rachel was clear.
I would definitely say that yes, I do consider myself to be black.
But it was the questionable death threats and reported hate crimes against Rachel and her family, which led to an investigation and questions about her race. In January, the Spokane chapter of the NAACP posted a picture of Dolezal standing beside this black man who Rachel claimed.
And January 19th, another 119. Remember, Star of David equals 119. That's the Zionist Freemason Jew symbol. The same people who run this media. Star of David equals 119.
Was her father. She said he couldn't visit Spokane because he was battling lung cancer.
Is that your dad?
Yeah, that's my dad.
And then they get her smirking, saying, "That's my dad." Truth Seeker, I just made the point about how on May 3rd, once upon a time, Obama made the joke about orange is the new black. I have that covered in a video also talking about John Boehner. Recall that in the recent transgender story involving Bruce Jenner, about this transitioning from man to woman, the number 53 was all coded throughout it. In this story, it was her brother who first broke the detail that she was lying. His name sums to 53. And this isn't a transgender, but it is a transracial story. So anyway, I just wanted to document these curiosities, this coding of numbers, another story involving black and white divisions. It just makes you go, what will they think of next? I mean, just so many stupid stories. You know, and what everybody needs to ask themselves is, why are we being presented this information? Out of all the things happening in this world, how has this become a story that has become front and center, you know? As I mentioned in the beginning, I heard about this on talk radio, and it was a big talking point this week on talk radio. Another nonsensical, ridiculous story. All right, until next